Yesterday, I posted my first ever YouTube video, and I'm really proud of it. We talked about how I embraced a period of isolation and how I've picked up a lot of new hobbies, one of them being my new journey towards Christ and me learning Christianity. Today, I wanted to talk about how I learned and perfected my diet to help me out in the gym, get more energy, and to eat a natural, clean bulk. So I've been eating the same food for the past, I think 7 months now, and is it a bit extreme? Yeah, kind of, but it's brought me these results. It's helped me lift heavier in the gym, and I've put on added 6 kgs of body weight, and most of it being muscle, which has been extremely hard for someone like me. I've always been that guy with an extremely high metabolism, so I'm quite used to kind of being the skinny kid. I've always had abs and a low percentage body fat, which I'm extremely thankful for. But I want to be bigger. I want to lift heavier in the gym, you know? So starting this process was quite hard for me because it's a lot more complicated than just eating more food. Not only that, I want to eat the right food too, you know? I don't want to put on weight by going to McDonald's every single day. So today I wanted to talk about how I began that process and how I'm still doing it to this day. How I learned to curate a healthy, consistent, and easy diet to actually follow that wouldn't rip apart my bank account, and also that meets my needs and my macros, so eating my healthy fats, carbs, and proteins. I've always been a bit of a health enthusiast. I mean, it doesn't take a genius to realize that you need to avoid processed food and stick to clean, natural food. You know, just like raw dairy, meat, fruit, veggie, eggs, all that kind of stuff. Look, just take a step back and look around you. You've got parents so unfit and lazy they can barely play with their kids. Or even just take them out on a simple bike ride. They'd rather just shove a screen in their face and go order McDonald's for online takeaway because it's so much easier. No. Not for me. I don't think so. But do you realize how deep this goes? Bro, trying to eat healthy nowadays is next to impossible. You decide to cut out processed sugars or artificial flavors and colorings, and then you find out you can't even eat 75% of the food that's on the shelves in the supermarket. Then you also discover how 75% of these foods contain something called seed oils, a chemically refined, dyed, and bleached, used to be engine lubricant in World War II. This causes hypertension, diabetes, and obesity. In fact, let's look at the numbers. You've got 50% of the population which are diabetic or considered to soon to be diabetic. You've got 33% that are hypertension, so you've got high blood pressure. And then you've got 16% of these people diabetic. Welcome to your future. Do you see how overwhelming this is just for somebody who's trying to do good by their health or their family? Like, it's seriously gotten so bad to the point where it's like, why would you even want to bother? Why even consider getting into this when it is so much more convenient to go around the corner and get McDonald's for $20 instead of planning out your healthy meals, buying organic produce, or studying and getting the right supplements, which, let's be honest, will take a good hit into your bank account, which none of us can barely afford in today's society. But look, enough of the bad statistics we've all heard before and some of us don't even care to do anything about. Let's look at how we can actually solve this problem for yourself, because I'm a firm believer in you either pay the farmer now or the doctor later. So it's going to be expensive either way. Choose when you want to pay that bill. I had 2 goals I defined clearly I wanted to do for myself. I wanted to gain weight while maintaining my lean physique and to do it in a clean manner. No processed foods, no sugars, no chemicals, no cheat meals, no artificial dyes, nothing. Just plain, natural food that you can grow. But I had a few non-negotiables I had to meet in order to do this. You can't cheat science. My friend Anton used to be a gym trainer and a fairly decent nutritionist too. He helped me calculate how many grams of fats, carbs, and proteins I would need and where I can get it from. These are all the 3 key components you need for muscle growth, cell structure, energy reproduction, and so on. So the simple stuff you can't cheat. And if you're trying to put on weight and do extra work in the gym, you need to hit this stuff correctly, especially for someone like me who's got a fast metabolism. So we got the paper, sat down, and got to planning. We sorted out every meal, every snack, and every supplement that would help me out in the long run, but also something we can do consistently. It can't be a difficult meal I have to make up every day because that's not realistic. I'm not going to stick to this. So let's run through it. First thing when I wake up in the morning, your body's dehydrated. Electrolytes and creatine for muscle absorption and for energy reproduction. I would then take Shilajit and sea moss for my vitamins, minerals, and testosterone. This is important because I'm doing it on a fasted body, so it quickly absorbs into my system. Breakfast was nothing fancy either, it's just a classic gym bro breakfast. We had chicken, rice, and I'd mix coconut oil into there for my healthy fats. Then I'd have carrot, kiwi fruit, dark chocolate, and avocado. Lunchtime, 2.5 hours later, I'd get a good sized container of Greek yogurt, mix in a scoop of protein powder, and mix granola on top. I would also do 185 grams of tuna, and then a small portion of rice on the side too. This meal alone was like 85 grams of my daily protein. I needed 235, so it's a solid meal. I would also supplement beef, testicles, heart, and liver. Disgusting stuff, I know, but I'm not going to eat it, so I was like, I'm going to supplement it. This stuff is extremely good for, again, your vitamins, minerals, testosterone. Then pre and post workout, I would have a large handful of dates, coconut water, and a berry mango smoothie with 2 raw eggs and banana in there, and of course a scoop of protein powder. So I'm getting fast absorption vitamins and minerals, and of course natural bioavailable protein for your boy who just went to the gym. Then dinner was low-key my kind of random meal, but it would still maintain the similar structure. So it would still keep high protein, carbs, and vegetables, but I'd try to keep it healthy. So we'd mix it up from just chicken and rice, kumara, chicken, veggies, anything like that. Now don't get me wrong, this diet can be extremely boring and repetitive when you've done it for 7 months straight, but it's what I know works for me. It is easy for me to do and I can keep up consistently with. For years before this, I've been trying to do intensive meal workouts or meals that just completely damage my bank account, and I can never stick to it long term. For me, this works. For you, it may be looking like something different. Point is, you need to calculate your macros, stick to natural foods, and do something easy that is going to work and something you can stick to. So no, you don't have to do exactly what I've done, and for what I'm eating may not work for you too. We all have different goals and we all have different bodies, metabolisms, and foods that we like and don't like. Our bodies are all completely different, so there's no one-off diet that you can completely stick to. But I still wanted to post something that works for me, and I'm really proud of it. So cheers to the second YouTube video. Hopefully it's looking a bit better, but we'll keep learning as we go and we'll keep it going. We'll post another video in a couple more days.